in Canada, we just had a Liberal Party that was elected.
Congratulations.
Right? Yeah, congratulations. But the weird thing about it is it's the boomers voted for the Liberals and the young people voted Conservative.
Really?
Yeah.
The majority of young?
I don't know
or
if it's the majority.
Is it shifting right?
It's shifting totally in the space in space of youth. So that means that you can already see an image of the future. And I think that's the same in a lot of these places where there's a kind of populist right or there's a new right or whatever, that it's the young people.
Because the young people aren't as affected by the post-war narrative.
Well, they have been marginalized by it. They are the ones that in some ways have kind of lost their... Because the
How have they
boomers,
been marginalized?
well, in the sense that...
Well, I can tell you how they
Yeah, go ahead.
been marginalized. But this constant narrative of toxic masculinity,
Yeah.
that you tell men, and for me, that's a sort of a descendant in the ideas space from the dichotomy of fascism and strong men and strength.
You could say the same. Like, let's say if you think about the idea of unlimited immigration, for example, that we saw now in Canada, Justin Trudeau brought in so many immigrants into the country that the prices for apartments in Montreal is almost the same as in London or in Paris, which is just ridiculous. So it's like there's just this madness to just bring in outsiders. The boomers aren't affected by that. I mean, they already have their pension plans. They're fine. They've already done it. It's the young people that are going to live with the weirdness and
except that the boomers have children, so the boomers care about what their children are going through.
They're like grandchildren. I don't know if they really care. I don't know. I mean, this is going off subject, but I think the COVID stuff showed us that the boomers don't care. Right? That they want the world. They
don't care about the younger generation.
They want the world to be managed according to their desires. And it's not a conscious thing. It's not something they're doing with malicious intent. But, during it was the weirdest thing. Like during the pandemic, and in Quebec, we got it rough, right? We were locked down, 2 Christmases canceled, just locked down all out. Before the trucker protest, they wanted to increase the passport, vaccine passport to include grocery stores. Like that's how where they were at that point. And in the midst of the pandemic, when everybody was locked down, our premier, who usually posts just political stuff, for some weird reason, posted a joke on his Twitter of an old man walking next to a pool and pushing a child into the water. And I thought, what? What are you doing? It's this is exactly what's happening. We're literally sacrificing a generation of young people, so that the elderly are comfortable. And it's that's a weird thing to do in a society. So I'm not sure the boomers, at least they're kind of unconscious. I don't know if they really see the effects of their actions.
But back to topic though. So you said a couple of times in this conversation, you don't know how to integrate or recapture some of the imagery and whatever. But it does. What's happening in Canada with the young taking a different path. It's worth also noting that there's one report in the FT that it's not necessarily the young going more right, but that women and progressives are going harder left.
Right,
so they're actually, and so it appears like young men are going right or conservative. Right. It's not actually the case. And there's studies that show that in South Korea and a couple of European countries as well. But it might be the case that this younger generation are way less affected by the World War II consensus, and so this actually it'll not necessarily be as nasty a play out as we are concerned that it might be.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the reason why I talk about it is because I want to avoid the worst. I think in some ways, Jordan Peterson in 2016, he was able to play some of that role. Like he actually did that. He basically, all of this was already bubbling in 2016. All this was already under the surface. It was already all there. And Jordan was able to offer men a way out to say, you don't have to go in this direction. You can be a man. You can be responsible. You can work hard. You can sacrifice yourself. That's what being a true man is. And I think that he gave us a delay. He gave us like a loop that is now bubbling up again. And so I'm very grateful for him. I saw that right away when I saw what was happening. I thought Jordan is actually giving men that are resentful and angry a way to live out life in a positive way that doesn't need to resort to this type of to the stuff that's bubbling up. You know?
Yes, so that's interesting to think of that in within the paradigm that we've been.
But it's
discussing.
the same way. It's the same. I think Christianity does that too. I think Christianity, obviously more so even than what Jordan did. I think that Christianity can give people a way into identity that isn't authoritarian. Like it can give you a way into identity that is based on love and self-sacrifice, right, and service for others. That's true identity. And I think that that's really powerful. And so I'll be honest with you, like when people started using the word Christian nationalist in like a negative way, as if this is a horrible, evil thing, I was like, what? Well, what do you want? Like, what is it that's going to, it's just so like, you can't be an ethno-nationalist. You can't be a Christian nationalist. So what are you going to be? Like, what are you going to be?
Let's because I think Christian nationalist, that is taken to be a synonym for theocracy, right? So Christian theocracy, or theocratic state. That's how I understand that.
Yeah.
Which is how do you understand that?
No, but I think there's probably people,
which I do have a problem with.
There's probably people in that world that want something like that. I would say most of the people believe that Christianity can be a way to kind of anchor our world in a manner that would hold us together, right? And that would be
I'm convinced of that.
Direction.
But
because you probably know the story, but like it's weird because in that sense that you're talking about, like I'm the least thing from a Christian nationalist in that sense. It's like I'm more of a Christian than a nationalist anyways. I don't know what I'm a what I would be a nationalist about. Like I'm much more of a Christian. And I had certain people that call me like a demon because I was trying to say that Christianity should be the identity. And I was accused of being a Christian nationalist in the worst way, just because I was saying Christianity is the way out. Like this is the way to go. But I don't know, like people in our world were doing that, accusing me of that. And so I don't know what exactly are we supposed to circle around? Like, what are we supposed to celebrate that can unify us? Because if it's not Christianity, then it's what? Then it's tribe, then it's race, then it's what? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think Christianity is the best thing because it founds your identity on someone who gave his life for others. Now that's something that diffuses. It in some ways, I talked about Augustus, who in some ways sacrifices his power in a symbolic way. Well, Christ did that fully, completely, even though he was just celebrated as king of the Jews coming into Jerusalem by the people. In the way we tell the story, like he was willing to die and to give that up. And so that is the image of true identity, I think. And that's why I think that in some ways Christianity is our only way out of this.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Winston Marshall Show. You can click here to watch the full episode, and for more clips like this one, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, be well.